You're listening to the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast, and I'm Lou Temlett. I'm guessing you're having a good day because either you've been on the mats, considering getting on the mats, or maybe taking yourself to train. I'm so happy you're here listening or watching this episode. Please don't tap out before the end. When you want to find and create balance in your life, start training jiu-jitsu. I'd like to welcome Professor Francesca Sambito Pace to my podcast. Hi, Francesca. How are you?
Hi, Lou. Really good, thank you.
Oh, it's a wonderful sunny day here in the UK, which we're both very grateful for. It certainly lifts our mood and might encourage us even more to step on the training mats and train some Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Certainly that's on my agenda for later on.
Definitely.
I'd like to ask you what kind of inspired you to start training jiu-jitsu and continue training jiu-jitsu?
So doing jiu-jitsu has inspired me training with my husband. I started training jiu-jitsu in 2013. And because we had already a martial arts academy and see my husband training at the academy, all the other ladies, and or team, so has inspired me to start in jiu-jitsu. And when I started doing jiu-jitsu, I realized I become more strong and that become a lifestyle.
I like that. So let me just remind listeners, I have interviewed Professor Salvo on a previous episode, and I'm really grateful for you being here, Francesca, because you are also a professor, you're a black belt, and you teach and train at Gracie Barra Bath, and you are one of my professors, and I very much enjoy learning from you and your techniques.
Thank you.
And I love to hear that it's more of a lifestyle, because being, I don't want to kind of reference older, but a woman in her 40s, it's more about fitting in with a lifestyle and expanding the learning of jiu-jitsu, not just on the training mats and jiu-jitsu, but I also know you teach yoga for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and also Barra Fit. Please tell me some more about how your journey has kind of gone from seeing your husband training and being a professor and having a training school, and the progression for you in all of the aspects that have built up your lifestyle.
So yes, I started training in jiu-jitsu in 2013. And after I started doing also competing, have a lifestyle. So I started training after having my twins boys. So my twins boys is born in 2012. And after 1 year, I started training in jiu-jitsu. After a couple of years, I decided to do my yoga course because I have tiny bit spine injury. And then I realized doing yoga, so it's helped me to find a balance, between jiu-jitsu, both really quite similar. So both with discipline, but in different way. And I realized this is really good for me. So then after 2 years training jiu-jitsu, I started my yoga course and I started teaching also athletes and find the right way how to teach to the others as well, not just me, other people, the way how to teach yoga for them.
Oh, I like the teaching yoga for individuals.
Yes.
I know, like Professor Salvo and yourself, you know, when you teach, it's about not teaching the same move for everyone, but to understand our own bodies for the moves and techniques to kind of work for you as an individual rather than, you know, everybody doing the same thing. And it sounds like that's exactly the same for yoga.
It's making jiu-jitsu and yoga for everyone. It's both the same concepts.
I love that. And I've seen on your socials when you've been at a kind of GB experience events teaching yoga in wonderful locations. Tell me about some of Mexico. Is that your favorite?
Yeah, beautiful. We went in Mexico now, I think, for about 7 years, every year.
Wow.
We go there, we will have fun. We will meet professors around the world, and we get really inspired.
Oh, it's
So
amazing.
it's really nice, beautiful
I,
place.
and where else have you been in the world with your yoga and jiu-jitsu?
So once a year, we are going to Mexico. Of course, we are going to Sicily because I come from Sicily. I'm growing up in Sicily, and every year we are going to Sicily. Also in Sicily, we have another Gracie Barra Academy, which is open in this year, has opened up the Gracie Barra Agrigento, and we'll be training there.
Wow.
My husband, he has traveling tiny bit more around the world. Me starting, yeah, because I have family, kids.
Yes, I understand. I think you know that I've just come back from Barcelona from doing the IBJJF Masters, and it was an absolute joy to take the children to be immersed and to see some very high level jiu-jitsu and just be around, people that are involved with it, lots or maybe not so much. I think it's inspiring for our young children. And I will say that your twin boys are very, very polite and have very good morals. I love training with them now. They're kind of in the GB1 and the adult classes, and I love seeing the respect and the kindness that come from the next generation of young people training jiu-jitsu. I wanted to ask a bit more about yoga because I've attended a couple of your classes, maybe more than a couple. I do find them very challenging physically. I haven't done yoga for about 20 years and then launched myself into one of your classes. And I find that the balance and the mental kind of study quite intense. But tell me some of the benefits for anyone training jiu-jitsu for them to consider starting yoga.
Okay, so when we talk about yoga, so it's no yoga without breath. This is what is teaching in jiu-jitsu yoga. It's about breathing. So because we need connecting our breathing with the movements together is really hard. If you're not used to on this type of flow, the yoga classes become tiny bit hard. Because if you're thinking just on stretching without breath, you're just creating tension into your body. But if you have a nice combination of breath and movement together, you release the tension on your muscles, on your joints, on your deep tissue muscles. So that's reason yoga in jiu-jitsu is about breathing, breath. It's about understanding also injury into your body and how to manage the injury as well. Because when you start doing yoga, during the yoga flow, yoga postures, you realize if something is wrong into your body.
Yeah.
Because you activate all the muscles. And when you're activating all the muscles, say, oh, okay, maybe I have something on my shoulder. Maybe I need to go a tiny bit more gentle. My yoga is quite dynamic, but at the same time, it's made for everybody. It's a yoga for everybody. How you say before, it's individual. It's not a yoga flow for everybody. They give many options. They give some modification that we can do. And also the most important things is about learning how to breathe.
I love that. It really impacted when you first said it's about breathing and flow. I've not studied yoga, and anyone that regularly practices yoga will understand the breath thing. But my mind's immediately gone to me being a fresh white belt, and you can see where this is going, Francesca. Where we don't know how to breathe, we're holding on to our breath, we're fighting for dear life not to get armbarred or choked out, and we've stopped breathing. We gas out.
So that's reason. So also yoga is teach you. So when you do jiu-jitsu, you create tiny bit tense, tiny bit stress during the flow. And maybe you breathe, it becomes short. and shorts and shorts. And you have a sense of tiny bit of stress, maybe tiny bit that you need to recover in the breathing again. And yoga is learning you how to breathe. So how to manage the situation during the sparring. And
I'm already feeling more conscious about my breathing right now. And kind of going through the process of the kind of calmness, the awareness. And I think that's one of the things with yoga, isn't it? It's having the awareness, the breath to all parts of the body, and being able to identify gently, some of the areas that you need to be aware of or to work on or to be just more gentle with.
yeah, just more tiny bit more gentle, of course. And manage all the stress levels as well. Manage your mind as well.
Yes. I feel like I need to have a yoga session mid-podcast recording now, Francesca, but we won't. I'm
Life.
excited. Yes, exactly. Life. We need to learn more. So I love the yoga. I love the jiu-jitsu. Can you tell me a bit about your jiu-jitsu journey from starting out in 2013, only a year after having your twin boys, which I think is incredible? Was there any practice, martial arts, any other kind of fitness prior to you being pregnant with your boys that kind of made it easier to start training jiu-jitsu?
So before jiu-jitsu?
Yes.
So before jiu-jitsu, I never done any sport before, just tiny bit to the gym, maybe sometimes running, but I was a tiny bit sport person, but not quite find something's right for me.
Yeah.
So after having my twins boy, I say jiu-jitsu, and I start competing, and after 2 years, I start with my yoga. And I said I become more strong, and the year passed, and
So a number of training sessions throughout each week, and kind of building up over months and years, and working through to become a professor.
So to become a professor, you have to train regularly. So in life, it's give you many situations. It's not always the same in life. So after a year is passing, life is give you in a different situation that you say, maybe this means I'm not training. Maybe no, you have to just find your balance. That's the reason jiu-jitsu is for everyone. Learning how to adapt to jiu-jitsu in the day life.
Yes.
And this is what I did, adapting my jiu-jitsu in my day life. I had some example. I give you one example. So 2 years ago, I had a big operation, surgery. And I was really happy to make this surgery because this was something I need to done before 2 years ago. And after the surgery, after 2 months, I was already on the mat and I start training. And I find a way also training, just really slowly, group of 3. And then again, my body was become more strong. And I just keep going. So adapting jiu-jitsu and make possible for everybody in any situation.
I love that. And thank you for sharing your kind of journey. And, at the top of the show, I mentioned about having balance for life. And I think you've very beautifully demonstrated being able to have that balance and integrate with daily life as a mother and as someone that trains and teaches jiu-jitsu. This is the Jiu-Jitsu Lou podcast with me, Lou Temlett, coming to you from the UK. Go and check out the latest video clips over on jiu.jitsu.lu on Instagram. And as you're listening or watching on your favourite podcast platform, I'd really appreciate you dropping the show a rating and a review. Today, I'm having a conversation with Professor Francesca Sambito Pace about creating balance in life. Francesca, as you teach regularly, what is your favorite class or kind of favorite thing to teach aside from yoga, focusing on the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu?
So I like the ladies class, which you come into my ladies class. I teach twice a week, ladies only, and I like it to teaching these ladies and share ideas. And also I like teaching the kids classes. I like to see how the kids is improving and how they're growing up, because maybe if you see one kid after 15 days, you see completely change, you know. And or also kids that come regularly, you see also the really good improvements. I'm really proud of the kids that I'm teaching inside the academy.
I think it's
And Barra
really,
Fit.
yes. I think it's really interesting with the kids classes. Both of my children train, as do your twin boys, and just framing the difference, even in a couple of weeks from starting to a period of time, just seeing them grow and develop in a safe environment. Any child, anyone can kind of come along and train jiu-jitsu, but as a professor, being able to see that growth and development must be so rewarding.
Yeah, definitely. So it's really nice. So I like it when the kids is coming into the class. I like the when the kids is the feeling secure in a safe place. Are you say in a safe place to
Yeah.
training and
And then
learning them to not only in jiu-jitsu but also emotional.
yes, absolutely. And I know when, it's a challenge, even as an adult, some kind of advanced moves are challenging, or, maybe throughout the month of my cycle, things feel really difficult and I actually want to cry and run off the mats. But actually, having those experiences and dealing with all those emotions in one place, if they come up, then being comfortable to share or to be in that space, and then being supported by the whole jiu-jitsu family, I think is a really good thing as well. So tell me about training with your boys, and also then teaching the women's class, and how kind of fulfilling it is.
Training, and my boys start jiu-jitsu really in an early age, at the age of 3.
Wow.
Now, I said before, so see my kids is growing up and making change inside the academy. And then now when we are going to the academy, we train together. This is a beautiful thing. I train with both of them, and sometimes because they are my kids, they are like competing with me. I'm not even more strong as my mom. It's quite nice. It's quite fun and nice.
I love that. I've just started training with my eldest, and they're now kind of in the adult class occasionally, and yeah, I'm still using my strength, Francesca, I will admit, but I think there will become a point very, very soon where I have no choice apart from to tap.
Yeah. About ladies, is really nice if you can get inspired some ladies, but not just to be athletic, also athletic, but also for everybody who want to just learn in jiu-jitsu with some basic moves. And the most important things in jiu-jitsu is learning about basic. And this is really, really important that you create this nice connection with the ladies, like a sisterhood.
Yes.
And not just learning about crazy movements, but make jiu-jitsu for everybody.
I love that. I love training with the women and kind of understanding all of our challenges, and sometimes we're stood there going, did you understand that move? Did you get that move? And I'm sure you've seen the Instagram reels that have gone viral. It's like, where you're left and you're not really sure. But actually having that open communication, being able to speak openly and work things through, it becomes a really beautiful problem solving task. And with you being a professor, I feel very comfortable in asking, communicating. And I think that's the kind of friendliness and the professionalism and all of those wonderful kind of characteristics that you have that make learning jiu-jitsu just so much easier and smoother.
Thank you.
So the women's class, there's 2 women's classes and you've got the yoga. Talk to me a bit about Barra Fit, because I don't know much about Barra Fit, but it sounds like it's something I should be doing.
Okay. So Barra Fit is a fitness program which is inspired in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's similar like when you're drilling Jiu Jitsu. But there are 2 types of Barra Fit. They are performance and they are compact.
Okay.
So I like teaching both, because I think it's nice when we learning auto punching as well.
Okay.
As fitness, but nice to learning auto punching.
Okay.
As my husband in the past, so he's a good boxer. So he teach me also some movements range of boxing. And also through the Barra Fit, I learn auto punching and striking. So I started teaching Barra Fit, I think it was 2 years before the COVID, 2020. And I started teaching the compact, I started teaching the performance. It's make your body really strong. Lots of fluid movements that help you in jiu-jitsu, make you strong, stamina. And during the COVID, I was teaching Barra Fit online and everybody was enjoying it. I was teaching Barra Fit on my park car outside for the academy.
Oh, wow. That's very cool. And we had such great weather then as well. And we had such great weather then as well.
Great weather, and also everybody was really happy because during the COVID, without body contact, Barra Fit was a good thing to stay connected with Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, nice slow movements, inspired in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, like a slide the knee, hip throw, and stuff like that. So it's really, really good. I invite you to try Barra Fit on Tuesday.
I will. So what's the difference between the performance and the combat? I gather there's punching in the combat, but performance, what comes to mind is, when you've seen gymnasts with the ball and the ribbon, give me some more specifics about what the performance Barra Fit looks like.
So Barra Fit compact look like more. So I just make you a plan. How is a Barra Fit class? It's a 45 minutes class.
Yeah.
With interval training, with Tabata, we use a Tabata training. So it's 45 second on and 10 second off for 6 rounds.
Okay.
So now the compact is a mix of some exercise like a squat, plank, but also you start using like a punching and in a different way. First in a simple way, like a straight punching, and you had tiny bit more straight punching, same flow, but you had tiny bit more.
Okay.
So that increase more your cardio, and you spend lots of calories.
Okay, I like the idea of that. When you mentioned Tabata, I was like, oh yes, I'm into the kind of the HIIT training, the interval training. I like the sound of that. So you've already got me hooked, but you'll be seeing me on Tuesday nights now. What about the performance?
So the performance is the same class, the 45 minutes and 45 second on and 10 second off. But all the movements are focused on Brazilian Jiu Jitsu movements. Okay, like a slide knee. Also, we mix with some core exercising or lunges. And again, to start with a simple flow, is also good for training your minds, because if we start in a simple flow, like a knee side to side, and then we have tiny bit more. It's become more challenging, but not only physical, also mentally, because you have to all memorizing all the movements.
Yes, that I've
and
just
they become more challenging.
I love that. Please forgive me. I've gone back to the step classes in the 90s and the early 2000s where you really had to remember and coordinate yourself.
Coordination.
Stepping up and missing the step, and thankfully no injuries, but bringing the mind and the body together. I like that idea. What is coming up for you, and what are you focusing on over the coming months with being a professor, teaching Barra Fit and yoga?
I like do what I'm doing right now. I hope I can carry on doing, so I'm 45 years old. I hope I can carry on doing at age of 60. I'm trying to keep my body strong. Also try to challenging tiny bit myself as well, inspire more ladies and also more people. And sometimes I think it to competing. Never know.
You never know.
Know.
I've only just started competing, so maybe Francesca, we have a Masters 3, Masters 4. Obviously, I'm a completely different belt, so maybe we can just accompany rather than be on the mats. I will stay very clearly away from black belt competitions. I'm just observing. I love seeing the kind of the combination, because like you're saying, the breath, the mental practice, the body, all of those things are contributing to progress in jiu-jitsu, progress in life, and bringing all of those things together. So I can see and hear the benefits going forwards. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for being part of the show. As you know, it's to inspire more women and young people and just everybody to start training jiu-jitsu. And now there's even more reason to, consider yoga, consider Barra Fit. There are so many options to get you inside the doors of a training space and to be supported by a very supportive community, more women and more individuals, really making space and very open to mums and that kind of demographic. There's no reason why as Francesca's kind of in her career, where you've started training jiu-jitsu a year after your twin boys. And I think starting at any point after children, I think is a great thing. Certainly I've really, I'm enjoying my kind of practice being a mum, and having my children, having that journey as well, and having that kind of family experience, which I think is ultimately important, because I know the whole of your family are involved with Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, which is just wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Francesca. I will see you on the mats, definitely Tuesday night, Barra Fit. It's on my notes.
Yes.
And maybe look forward to seeing you later.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for telling your friends about this show. And as soon as this episode ends, I'd love you to rate and review the show. Thank you again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast.